And we're back. We need to talk a lot, V.
Yeah.
Charging, I got the break, I'm on the right. Charging, I got the break, I'm on the right. Can you get the diva, or just...
So yeah, you were dead, guaranteed there. What was there, Ryan? Is there Ryan there, or did you just pick him off earlier?
Good question. Yeah.
Oh fuck, I hate Buzz so much. No, the Ryan's still there. So, since your Ryan dies, like, just fall off. When you try to push that, you're just gonna get poke damage, especially by the Zen here. He's just gonna discard you and put volley after volley into your team. DM's not gonna last, Bubble's not really gonna last. And yeah, like, that's a prime target for them to go on. And like, yeah, amping heals again. Like, just, if you really want to push up, just, like, do anything, you really want the speed boost to engage and disengage as well.
Yeah, so I'll say Meadow was just summing in, but he's definitely not. He hasn't played many scrims before or knows goats, so don't be too harsh on Alicia.
Gotcha. Especially if you're running the Moira comp, like, you should be able to sustain. I mean, you shouldn't really be running the Moira comp. You should pretty much try the Zen goats comp, which was what they're doing.
Diva. Get the Ryan behind you, Diva.
Yeah, he was super split here. Zarcia, Diva, Lucio here. Yeah, just try to stick together. So if you're in a situation where your Ryan is dead, and then you find yourself like split like this, a good call to make is stack on something. So yeah, this is a really common call in goats. So stack on, for example, stack on Zara or some shit, and then everyone just finds where your Zara is, and then they go towards it, so you clumped up into a little ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good call, actually.
So yeah, some teams say different, but for me, I say stack, and I see a lot of people saying stack. So yeah.
Nice. Just carry them. I'm on getting up point.
That's where.
Push this kid.
It's frozen. Alright, there. Good.
Tim, can you hear me?
So yeah, that pursue on the Diva, like that Diva pursue wasn't worth, because you were I think the charge area that you're fighting, which is never fight you win as a Diva, and you should always just get out of the situation.
I remember this whole match, I was just trying to do this Desire, because she was getting out on high energy every time and no one was finishing.
It's better to have her out on high energy than to just feed her more ult charge. So yeah, just like as soon as you see a full charge Zarya and you have no shield or like anything, just get out there. Like, not only do you have block her damage, but you're also giving her ult charge as well. So yeah, just try to rocket boost out of there. Like, even now, she's decided to back off because she sees your whole team like ripped up here anyway. So yeah, just play back a bit, play more defensively. And honestly, like, full charge Zaryas shouldn't really matter in goats because you're gonna get full charge as soon as you use your bubbles. Like, you only get 40 energy guaranteed if you bubble your Reinhardt into like a fight or something.
Thanks.
I'm sharing.
So like right now, I don't think everyone know that you got DMAxed as Baby Diva. So you need to be communicating that, like, verbally. You need to be like, yo, I'm Baby Diva, careful, it's 5v6 or something, because you guys are playing like a bit aggressive here, but you guys are like down to play it pretty much because Baby Diva doesn't really count as a player, let's be honest. But yeah, so just make sure you communicate that verbally, and make sure everyone on your team knows, especially your shot caller, so they can make that decision.
They blocked it. I'm back here. Ryan's low.
Yeah, I'm close to Graph.
I have low shield.
I got a bomb up.
Shield. Take cover.
But we won the fight. The Ryan's dead.
Yeah, right.
Just push
Can
up.
we push this?
I get back. Yeah.
Yeah, bubble came in too early here. So a good indication of when to bubble your Reinhardt is when he is in the middle of their team. That's a really good indication of when to bubble your Reinhardt. Yeah.
Push. I'm charging.
So you're like, right now, your Ryan lost his bubble, but he was in cover the whole time he had bubble. so they couldn't even get line of sight of your Ryan to even do damage to that bubble. So yeah,
Push, push, push.
and don't ever charge in like that. You're charging into a narrow chokeway with a full charge Zarya, and pretty like just a goat's com. It's just like you shouldn't do this. So don't charge like anything like really narrow chokeway, and especially since you don't have a wall where it's kind of short, where you can actually pin someone onto a wall in a short time frame. So right now you're charging like super long, and you're super exposed because you have nothing to really, like shield you. Like you don't have your shield, obviously. You don't have Zar bubble. Diva's like just rocket boosting to push up with you guys. So the DM wasn't there, and even if DM was there, I mean, you got a full charge Zarya shooting at you. So yeah.
I got the diva. Can we get the break?
Break ulting. Get
So right now I was good. Like you got out, but your health was like super low as well. But I don't know. That they just were too low. They probably backed out of that. But anyways, like you shouldn't charge into a narrow checkway like that unless if you really communicate with your team and you have bubble up and you have speed boost amping it into them. That's really when you should use charge. Just be really disciplined with charge on Reinhardt, because Reinhardt, like you as a Reinhardt player, you're pretty much make or break in goats, right? Because if you fuck up, like it's all on you. If you fuck up, then you lose the fight pretty much. But if you fucking make a sick play, then you win the fight. You know what I mean? It's all on you, Ryan. And then you see people discipline.
No pressure, Disco.
Yeah, no pressure. Yeah.
Wait, we don't
You just need to
ult,
understand that,
they're staggered.
like you are the make or break for the team.
Yep.
Take cover.
Let them.
So yeah,
group up
that was a
and then-
really good call. Like, take cover, save your resources. You don't have to use DM if you're in cover. You don't have to use bubble if you're in cover. You don't have to use shield if you're in cover. So you can recharge your shield. And this is a really good time just to recharge your resources, which is very important in Goats battle.
And then we'll grab.
Alright.
Okay, wait. Let me go back. I want to hear what that call was.
Fall back, guys.
I need
Round
to
is full.
recharge.
Yep.
Take cover.
Yeah, I was
Let them,
called to fall
let
back.
them group up and then we'll grab.
Alright. Shield's full.
Let's grab bomb the call.
Yeah. I thought I heard something before that. My bad.
They're gonna go a
They're
different
just in
way.
here.
Oh no. Okay.
I've shut up.
So like right now, you guys are poking, but it's pretty like I'd say just useless, honestly. Like, yeah, you guys are getting like a little bit of damage, but like, what's it gonna benefit you? You have 5 volts, and Brigadier can't even do damage there, and you're wasting resources as well, which is very important. So, you never want to take a fight inside this chokeway, because as soon as you go in there, they have all the advantage, because you're in a narrow chokeway and they can just explode onto you. So honestly, like, just wait here or just fall back a bit and play the line here and wait for them to come out. Because as soon as they come out into this position here, where are they going to go? Like, they can't go back there because you can just push them. They're in the open here. They have no cover whatsoever. So just so make sure you know like where you're picking your fights as well. Make sure you pick your fights in like areas where they're at a certain disadvantage and you're at an advantage here. So yeah, just like an easy way to identify if you're in the advantage when you pick a fight is how much cover do they have? Like, think about that. How much cover do they have, and how much cover do you have, and how much cover do you like? How long does it take for you to reach that area? So like, if you play here and you want to fight here, you're gonna be amping it up, and like, it doesn't really make that much sense there. But like, you know what I mean? Just make sure that you pick your fights in an area where they're at a disadvantage, and you guys either have an advantage or it's neutral.
If you just rejoin the channel. Sorry, I just didn't know who was missing there.
Sorry, it was me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep.
I didn't
No,
realise
no, that's
we
all
were
good.
going
That's all
to
good.
epic. I'm just doing something, so I didn't want to disturb people.
Yeah, this is pretty picky, but like, grabbing into the air like this, it doesn't benefit your team at all, because like, the thing is, you're like as soon as you grab bomb combo, your Ryan needs to be charging their Ryan in order to break your shield, and then ideally your brig should be shield bashing their brig, or like etc., just so they can get exposed by the demon bomb. So yeah, grabbing in the air like that, your Ryan can't like charge it, but you can demon bomb underneath them, and like it could yield in kills if they're not careful with their shield placements, etc. So they use. So yeah, I don't think the Moira was communicated here. Like, I don't think there's no need for the Moira here, because you guys already grabbed and then you're about to do a bomb combo in that. So the Moira was not really needed there. So yeah, that was big. They fucked up their shield placement badly.
That angle though.
I'm gonna check. Can you help me? Can you help me?
Forgot about that.
Make sure the Zarya dies, yeah?
Literally, it was just like, don't do that angle. That angle, no.
Get back. I'm recharging.
It's around the
Go
corner.
back around the
Get
corner.
resources.
Yeah, nice.
Alright, yeah, they've
So, yeah,
definitely
like-
grabbed.
They're gonna have a lot.
And like, yeah, save the Moira ult there, because if you save the Moira ult, you only use the grab combo, and then you won that fight. You have Lucio Soundbearer, you have Shatter here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Luke used the Moira ult then. Wasn't needed, but it might have been an accident.
I feel like it's just some like solo queue mindset thing. Like,
Yeah, I don't think so, because Zarya and it was grab bomb. That was the call. There was no call for the Moira ult. Yeah.
I mean, like Luke probably was in like solo queue mindset.
Yeah.
And like what I mean by that is like you find it harder to depend on your teammates because of lack of communication in solo queue, and therefore you try to do stuff that can follow up with the grab, and he probably did that. So yeah, just follow up with him. And,
Yep.
Yeah. Easy. But like yeah, you could have just won that fight with these two ults, and that would have been it. But now yeah, you use 3 of them. So I mean that's honestly like fine, because Moira ult's like really easy to get, but you don't have the Moira ult for this fight. And plus, what the thing is, you guys traded 2 ults, potentially traded 2 ults for Lucio, Zen, and Brig. That's all their support ults gone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you guys have a support ult. You guys should have 2. I'm not saying like this is not like Luke wasting the Moira ult, but you guys should be playing the Zen here, and you guys should have 2 support ults. And then now you guys can play super aggressive into them. But aggressive doesn't mean you fucking push into them like that. Like don't push into this doorway. Like through that doorway, you're dead, right? You're at a massive disadvantage. Let them come out and then speed like this. Like the call for next this fight is speed boost Shatter. Use speed defensively and go super aggressive. And then you guys need to recognize that had grab, because she was on high charge. She melted the D.Va and she hasn't used grab yet this round, and it's been 74%. So yeah, you guys need to talk about ults as well, and what they have versus what you have, and what are you going to do versus what they probably do, and how you're going to combat what they're going to do. So yeah, there's a lot to take in, but you know, yeah,
It's okay, we recorded it.
I'll go over this like more times throughout the whole screen, because yeah, easy. I can go through this again.
Because they just
I can
absorbed
shatter them
that.
preemptively here. I'm going for shatter.
Yeah, do it.
No, shatter. Big shatter. Huge shatter. Alright, they grabbed them.
It's like right now, like your Ryan pushed up and shattered, which is fine, but like your whole team's still here. Like 2 people here, 1 person here. You're not in a position where you can follow up that shatter anyway, and they grab you, which is unfortunate. You can't protect that. Like, you can protect that, but like, you know what I mean? Like, shattering there, like you're not gonna get any follow up, and then that's shatter gone there.
Yeah, so I guess it's when Disco is shattering, we need to think about getting aggressive.
And this is I don't really know how to explain this. Like this, like sort of like high level stuff. Like it's not really that high. Like you probably just haven't thought about this, but Disco, you here by the way?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So a good way to counter, to counter like Bomb and Zarya, or good way to counter D.Va Bomb and their aggression, is to save your shatter until they're throwing their bomb, and then you shatter the team. And do you know why that is?
Yeah, so they can't like respond to the deep bomb, or like they're right.
It's not just that. It's not just that, because their Ryan and their break is gonna go super aggressive just to try to shield bash you and stun you, so you can get exposed by the bomb. And when they do that, they're in a moment of vulnerability, and they might not know it, but you should be able to identify that, and you should be able to follow up on that by using your shatter in that situation. And I'll go back a bit, and this will probably show what I mean better.
got a beat too, right? Because they just
Can
absorbed
shadow them
that.
preemptively here. I'm looking for shadow.
Yeah, do it.
Shadow.
Okay, wait, you called for a shadow and people said do it, so I don't think it's your fault, actually. I mean, the call shouldn't have been do it, you know what I mean? It might have just been like a reaction call, like a reflex, whatever. But yeah, shattering, you don't want to take a fight in there. Even if you shatter people, unless if you shatter pretty much all of them, then that's gonna be a waste of pretty much. But anyway,
Shadow. Big shadow. Big shadow. Huge shadow.
this is what I want to.
Alright, they grabbed him.
It's like right here, they're in a moment of vulnerability. If you shatter them there, you're most likely gonna pick up a break, and a Reinhardt. And the Reinhardt's slow, so he'll probably hold shield, but you can probably pick up a break here because she's looking for a stun. Actually, not just yet. Just like right about now because they're throwing out the D bomb and their combo is so scuffed because the D bomb came so late that the grab finished right about now. So grab finished about now, and the D bomb came out. If right now, maybe a few milliseconds before, if you hit a shatter right there, they can't engage on that, and all you guys have to do is to hide behind natural cover and hide behind shields in order to avoid the Steven bomb here, and then yeah, you guys would all be alive. So you see how the break came in, and she was super exposed, and she got the stun on you. Yeah. So oh my god, I just lost all my controls. What just happened? Oh, I just lost all my controls, dude. Anyway, I was saying. Yeah, so break just came super aggressive. She was in front of the Ryan shield. If you if you shatter that, then she would be down, and you wouldn't be in this vulnerable situation where you're stunned. There's a deep bomb going on. Okay, I need to refresh first. But yeah, you get what I mean? Because they're super super vulnerable in that state when they're pushing up when they're pushing up and trying to shield bash you.
So what did the shatter hit?
It got their back line.
I thought so. I thought it was pretty big.
It was too early though, I think. Is the point.
It was just it wasn't your fault, Ryan, because there's no way you can see behind you and actually see if your team's there. But the call was to do the shatter, so that was probably a good shatter just because the call was to give the shatter, and you should trust your teammates like that. But really, you guys need to you guys can't pick a fight inside that room. Okay, Vice is completely frozen. I need to restart Chrome. But yeah, just don't fight inside that room, because if you find narrow chokeways where they're coming from, then they always have the advantage there. Especially if they push into a narrow chokeway. Just wait for them to come out and then aggress onto them. Because as soon as they come out the door, they won't have any cover. Any natural cover, any environmental is what I like to call it. Where they can hide behind and avoid damage. Especially if you have a Zen. If you have a Zen and then poking that what do you call it? The narrow corridor is probably the best, because your Zen can get so many volleys onto the enemy Reinhardt, Reinhardt's shield, and if your Reinhardt drops shield, then you can get him to half HP easily. And it's just crazy. Just try to implement Zen into your Goat's compositions, because he's way too strong to ignore at the moment.
Yeah, he's normally there when Dazzy's there.
Yeah, just make sure, even if you have different players, you should practice Zen anyway.
I mean, our Goat's comp is usually Dozer as Lucio and Daz's and...
Doja's Lucio?
Yep.
Wait, who are your DPS?
No, Dozer's usually
No,
Zara,
I'm usually
Brig.
I'm usually Lucio in Zan Goats.
Yeah.
You're unless if your DPS player is the fucking best Zen in the world, always have your DPS players on Brig and Zar.
Yeah.
Brig and Zar.
Mm.
Unless if your DPS player is notably better than another player on their role. But always try to have, because the thinking behind that is Brig's ult is pretty expendable, and if you switch into something, you're most likely gonna switch to dive, so you're gonna keep that diva anyway, and you're gonna get rid of the Zar. So these two should be deeps. Yeah, which is what I'm saying. I don't think we're
Yep,
get forward.
and then we'll grab.
Yeah, here we go. You guys win this
you
fight.
dies, yeah?
Nice. Get back, get back, get back.
Yep, nice.
Alright, yeah, they've definitely got a grab.
They're gonna have a lot of ults here.
Oh yeah, actually, guys, you actually identified the grab here. So yeah,
Beat too, right?
there's no game plan. Like if you know they have grav, then you change your playstyle. If they have grav, then you guys should go super aggro and force out grav as soon as possible. Especially if like 75%. Just put pressure onto them. Hold on, I'll be right back in a second. Sorry. Alright, sorry, I'm back. So, alright, let's go.
Right? Because they just
Fucking shadow them.
So, like, if you know they have a combo, just like identify like a new playstyle. So just go aggressive here.
Preemptively here.
They're gonna have a bomb.
But anyway, yeah, I already talked
Yeah,
about
do
this.
it.
We'll just let play.
Big shadow, huge shadow. Alright, they grabbed them.
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot to mention this. Is your Lucy play here, by the way?
It's not our Lucio player because it was a sub, but Daz is here. He normally plays Lucio.
Okay, so if you want to beat a grab bomb combo, you want to beat as late as possible, because the new like not really new, but the changes to Lucio's sound barrier is he gets 750 HP added on every single character at its very peak, and it goes down faster than before. So if you add 750 HP to like everyone, then they most likely should survive like a diva bomb if they're out of position. But you beat super early here, and right now your beat's like wearing off super fast. So
It's not
now,
mine, but yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Behind me, get behind me.
It's like right now, like, yeah, you won't have enough to survive. I think Diva Bomb is like 1,000 damage. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, I got brick shotted. Sorry.
Nice beat.
Got brick.
No ults.
Break the old brick shadow.
Yeah, brick stunned. Sorry. Yeah, just back up. Can we stall? Can we stall?
No ults, good
There's
call.
no
Yeah.
point. It's already 90.
Yeah, we should still be fine. Okay.
I got out of.
We didn't
So-
have any ults to use, but yeah, good call.
Yeah, that was good call. Like good call regards. Anyway, go back just a little bit.
There's no follow-up.
Get behind me, get behind me. Behind me.
I'm dead.
Oh, I
So
got brick
yeah,
shotted.
Pixel,
Sorry.
Pixel.
No ults.
Break the
Pickle.
old brick shadow.
Oh, is that your name? Pickle.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, sorry. There's a pixel floating around somewhere.
Yeah, brick
Confused
stunned.
me. Anyway, when you get DMX here, just go straight to point. Like if you try to fall back there, you're pretty much delaying your death, and there's not much point. And if you go back, and if they're smart enough, then they'll just leave you, and then you would just be back in your spawn. Like
Yeah.
and then you have to go suicide, which will take longer. Go back to point. You have like the slimmest of chances of contesting point at all, but you're into their team and like you're harassing their healers, especially the Zen. If they're stalling, like if they're staggering you, always go for the Zen. Like even like you can even kill them. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. Like so many cases you kill like a Zen or an Ana. But
yeah,
anyway,
just back up. Can we stall?
Yeah.
Can we stall?
No.
so yeah, just walk into them at this point.
There's no point. It's already 90.
Yeah, we should still be fine. Okay.
I mean that made like a half a second difference, but you know, like just future reference. If they choose
Yeah.
to stall you, then
Out on 90.
It'll be bad.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm at
That's
92%.
perfect.
Let's go high. Let's go high.
Wait, I'm trailing. Nice.
They probably have.
trailing. What does that mean? Does that mean you're behind?
Yeah, I was behind.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Alright, we gotta go fast. Go fast.
All of us here.
Might be on
Yep.
statue. Right, yeah. Alright, I'm pushing in.
Yeah, go
Bring
right.
So
it.
yeah, Zar bubble is way too early. Right now is when you really want to use your Zar bubble at this moment, where your Ryan is in their team, or at least half of the team. So you
Yeah.
bomb the Ryan around here when he was dropping.
Yeah, I feel like I just need to do it later.
Yeah.
The biggest thing.
Just try to do it as late as possible, because if you do it later than Zari, then you have a higher chance of winning that fight. So yeah, just easy.
Eyes one.
Gonna go for grab.
Yeah, yeah. When you're ready. Huge.
It's big.
So I'm guilty. Like me and my team, we're guilty of doing this a lot. But as soon as you hit like the grab or shatter, don't say huge. Don't say big. You know what I mean? It's no point. It clutters comps. Just core what you're focusing on. If someone's in a grab and for example, they're transing, if you get a discord onto them, like, well, you guys can't because he hasn't played Zen. But if you guys get a discord into a squishy inside the grab, inside trans, and you guys all focus it, then they will die. So just make sure that you core after, like, you do anything, like you grab, you shatter, just call what target you're on. Even if you shatter, there's a chance that you won't kill them all, just because everyone's on different targets and you guys aren't doing enough damage as a collective group. So make sure you call exactly who you want, and make sure you focus it down.
I'm charging. I got the Zen. Zen's out.
So yeah, again, like a charge into the, like, you're pretty much in the whole team, and then you survive, which is,
I'm grabbing the break.
I'm down.
I'm gonna counter shot. Shatter.
ooh.
Brig.
2 is for down.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a nice shadow, but I think you're down too many at that point.
Yeah,
Runs one. Alright, we're gonna.
I kind of got like tunnel vision.
Stop reset.
That's fine. You just need to make sure that you're on your game.
Need to get out or die.
They're all right here.
So yeah, moment of silence. Here, talk about what ults you have, what ults they're gonna have, what ults they're gonna do combo wise, what ults you might do combo wise. You guys are like silent right now, which is like not what you want to do. You guys could be talking about so much stuff. You guys could be talking about how you want to engage. I heard last fight, someone said go up, which is great. But now you're not doing it in this like time frame. I mean, yes, people are still respawning. You guys are coming out of spawn, but like you guys can fit so much more comms into that little time frame. If you know what I mean? Because you guys aren't talking about ults here.
Yeah, just back out. Still.
And like right now,
Coalescence into the bomb. We're coming up to you.
yeah, right now you guys are talking about ults instead of like focusing on pushing out, because like talking about ults like require, like, it's just like, it's like multitasking, right? You can't really multitask and like go and I don't know how to explain it. It just delays your push just by that little margin, which is
They're gonna have a grab.
They're on point.
big enough.
Yeah, it's charged straight from down.
So right now you don't even know what you do, what you guys are going to do, and your D.Va's wasting DM, like on that corner. Well, not really wasting, but like, you know what I mean. Like, it shouldn't be needed. Like, the DM shouldn't be needed there, because you guys should know exactly what you're going to do, and you guys talk about it when you guys are already out, which is not good.
Alright, I'm gonna push in with
Like right now, you guys know exactly what you're going to do, but you're already in their team. You know what I mean? Like, you guys need to give everyone, like, your shot caller needs to give everyone like time to react and respond, and like, and they need to know what they're gonna do, because your Ryan clearly didn't know what he was gonna do when he was at this point back a bit. So
I'm on the right.
Oh man.
Snowball. Lose this. Just lose this. Oh, fuck.
No, we're not gonna lose them.
I have no shield. I'm backing off. Gotta back off.
I just wanted to die. Okay, so I'm last.
that was a good disengage, but you guys need to recognize it. Since I use an ult combo like that, like,
Take cover.
just don't use ults,
90, we got
honestly.
Go,
And
go,
especially
go.
since
Let's go.
like you're on 99 and they're about to be on like like the point of no return pretty much. Just save your ults. You have ults for the next fight, which is very useful. And then now look how many ults they retain. They retain 4 ults. They only use the combo to win that fight, and they're on 88, which means that you guys don't get another fight here.
Can we rally? Nice. Alright, pushing.
Oh, they outplayed me so hard. Yeah, watch this shit.
I'll touch.
I didn't really see what happened there, but
We came out of the corner. The Reinhardt was near the staircase, and he shattered us from behind.
unlucky. But yeah, that's about it. Like,
It was unlucky, Disco. It was nothing you could have done there.
That point tilted me so hard.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's fine. But like, just make sure you talk about ults there, because I feel like you really lost that map because you guys didn't talk about what ults they have, and you guys didn't prepare yourself enough about like what ults they have and what are you gonna do about it. So yeah, just make sure you get that ult tracking down. It should ideally it shouldn't be one person. It really shouldn't be one person. You guys should all be like talking about it during that moment of silence, which I talked about, and yeah, just talk about ults then, and everyone just chip in, be like, yo, like maybe someone just reminds everyone, like this is what I do myself and my team. I just remind everyone, I'm like, yo, what else do I have and stuff, and then we get everyone talking about it. You know what I mean? Which is really good. So like right now, let's talk about your comp. So, okay, so first off, I don't see the Mori really working in this comp, just because like
What's she gonna be healing?
you got a ball and a Winston, and they're gonna be way far. And as soon as they're diving deep and they're taking damage, you have to fade in as Mori because you don't have that speed boost on Mori. So you're using your passive ability just to get to them in order to heal them, and then you're in that situation where the enemy team can rush you down really easily. And yeah, and then she doesn't bring a defensive ult as well. What I mean by defensive ult is, or take for example, Lucio Zen ult. Lucio ult gives you shit ton of health. Zen ult, you know, like heals you a shit ton. But like Moira ult, it doesn't really count as a defensive ult here because it's not really like a thing that you can fall back on. Yeah, Mercy, Farah, but like honestly, like probably just go Diva here if you want to play dive. Or if you really want to explore this, I'd recommend Diva Ball here.
Diva Ball. How's your Diva play, Disco?
I think you should know what my deep is like.
I think the last time we'd played this map, we'd done Diva Winston, so this time we went with Ball Winston.
Yeah, honestly, we should mix it up because I love Diva. So, I mean, I'm happy playing Diva if you want to flick to DPS if we're going to run this lineup.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. We gotta get that back. Let's go around.
On the Zen. Zen's one.
Yeah.
That was
Down
good
the right.
engage. I like that. See, this is what you did, but I want to say like you did this unconsciously, but you guys chose this area, which is where they're most exposed and most vulnerable at. If like especially in a dive scenario, because if you were to dive point, then they can easily focus you down because they're ghost comp. If you were to dive this corridor here, like it's a tight, narrow chokeway. As I said again, just avoid those. So yeah, you guys dived this exact point, and you guys got the Zen real easy, and then as a result, they backed off. They lost one, which was really good. Like good call on that dive, whoever that was. That was a good call.
I'm getting out.
Get out.
But like right now, like you have point control. They're backed into a little corner. Just let your Farah spam rockets in, damage booster rockets in. Especially that they have no Zen. And what you really should be focusing on is refragging the Zen as soon as he comes out of spawn, because they're not in a position where they could support the Zen unless if they fall all the way back or their Diva, you know, goes to help Zen here. So maybe have like split attention. This is where you want to be poking. If you're playing something that's not goats into goats, you want to be poking them constantly. And like this comp is pretty good for poking. Like you got the McCree, spam shields, damage boost the fire rockets, just spam into them. And then you need to know, like consciously know when the Zen's gonna respawn and how far he's gonna get in like that time frame. And you just need to spam some rockets in, and that's an easy kill right there if they don't fall back onto him.
To be honest, this is when I started playing Farah, so I didn't play it that well this map.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just practice. Like
Yeah, I'm much better now. It's just yeah.
Right now they're doing a really stupid thing. Like they're pushing without the Zen hill, and they're super exposed. Like honestly, like Fire, you can just go back here and just spam rockets into this area which I talked about, which is the super exposed, while your whole team is just holding back. Wait for them to get in a vulnerable position, and then you can go for a dive. Because yeah, as I said again, the mindset of this comp is poke. That's how you're gonna win against goats, especially Zen goats. Poke damage into their shields, poke damage everywhere. It's like right now you're doing it, like you're just spamming rockets in. That's fine. Don't. So this is a bit about map control here. They have this half a point. So this is their half a point. This is your half a point. Don't dive into their half a point, especially if they're playing goats here. If you go in on a dive, then they have the control of this part of point, and they can just rush you down really easily. So keep poking, but play this area, and just wait for them to come beyond this line here, pretty much. Wait for them to go beyond that line, and you can find a pretty decent target to dive. So I think you guys do this, but yeah, just make sure you're always thinking about this when you're positioning on your shot caller. Make sure you're thinking about a position where they're at a disadvantage and where they're not in their area of map control.
I'm on break.
2 seconds.
It's really good. Like yeah, you guys do this, which is nice.
I'm on the Rhine.
Right, but like at this point, like there's Zen is like, you know, like somewhere around here. You guys should recognize that, and Vara should just go chase it or something, or like McCree should just go on a solo mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you refrag Zen, then that's Zen. Like not only if it's a, you know, like a psychological thing to that Zen because he's getting, you know, spawn killed pretty much, but it's also you're taking him out of the fight as well. And they're only 5 or 6 here. Like you guys need to play a bit more aggressive here, honestly, because they're pushing you off a point right now.
Yep.
Zen left on bridge.
Going in
Danny
one.
heals Nick.
Yeah, you guys recognize it, but like your focus is too much on them because they're already establishing the map control that you're trying to take back now, while their Zen is on a flank. So he shouldn't be at advantage, but right now I think he is at an advantage because he can really easily frag your McCree, which is almost done.
I think he
You're on
does.
1
Yeah.
HP.
I was when I was watching this back, V actually did call it out, but I didn't hear. Like I don't think anybody else heard it.
Yeah, and then look at this. Like this is the worst case scenario. Your tanks are in the front line, distracted by the whole team, while this Zen is literally throwing volleys into your team. Killed your McCree. He just threw another volley at someone. I didn't quite see because the camera didn't show. But like, look at him. He's in a prime position right now because he's on a different angle to where your focus is, which is what pretty much a flank is. And he's just throwing orbs or like after orbs at your team.
Get it.
It would just put so much pressure. And then now he's safe. Like he's safe there. Diva can easily peel for him. Like even if you fly up there as Farah. So just keep tabs on when your enemies are respawning as well. Like especially if you get like one pick and they're still like engaging or like backing off or waiting. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I went the wrong way.
Sorry, man.
Alright, we have.
Yeah, you identified that. You flew into that. So
Alright, Zen again.
you should have just gotten out
Get the
the
run.
concussion
Yeah.
out of there.
We just need to keep them off point. We have the advantage when we're not on the point because it's close quarters.
Yeah, that was a good call. Whoever made that. Like, you guys have the advantage if they're on point, especially with this comp. You want them to be in the open. You want them to be here where you can spam fire rocket constantly. You can dive freely and get out. Because the point, if you can't really dive the point, it's a super hard thing to dive.
Zen
So,
alone?
Oh man.
No, fuck them.
if you call Zen alone, if you call something alone, just call where it is. Everyone knows because right now I see a couple people turning their heads, like trying to see where he is.
Sorry, man. I was going for like to
So
go through them.
I know, but yeah.
here again, like so much silence, like from the comms, really, and like I want to say like useless comms, really. Like you don't need to apologize to that person if you do something wrong. Like just move on to scrim. People like if you fuck up, people know it, and people know that you didn't intentionally do that or something. Just move on. Apologize later. Talk about your ults. What ults do you guys have? You guys have Farah coming up with a Valk. That's good. You guys have Coalescence and you guys Primal coming up. What do they have? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can obviously see it right now, but like, you guys need to make sure you identify what they have as well.
It's just hard because they're running goats, so you shouldn't be doing that shit. We want to go bridge. Like, I'll let them have the brute. If we
Yeah, we want to go bridge. That's a good call. You want to play this outsiders dive. Literally, like, this is the most basic thing I could say, but you want to go right side into white if you're playing deathball, and you want to go bridge if you're playing dive. That's really basic, but that's how it boils down to.
I'm gonna scout a bit.
There's obviously some exceptions, but yeah.
Ryan Ryan's coming on point. If you want to go onto the back
Yeah,
line
let's
right
go.
now, right now.
We're going now. We're going now.
Go, I'm in.
So that was good. Whoever took attention away from, so your team could push. And your McCree's already in a prime position to do damage, which is really good.
I'm gonna go. I'm on Lucy.
Fire wasn't communicated there, so your team didn't know how to protect you or follow up.
Yeah, my bad.
Lucy.
The Ryan didn't get beat.
It's like it was a miracle that you survived there, to be honest. But yeah, just make sure you communicate that.
Yep.
Make sure you say, "I'm gonna fire barrage this fight." You know, I'm gonna go on a flank and try to barrage them or something like that.
The Ryan
Yeah.
didn't get
Just make sure you do that.
I'm on Ryan.
I got
I'm
it.
on break.
Lucho's one.
I'm on break still. I'm on break.
Luto.
Bricks one.
Unlucky. Yeah, you guys need to call their abilities. I just saw Diva use her rocket boosters onto the point, and she didn't have any rocket boosters. As soon as you see that, Diva's a prime target. She's vulnerable as fuck without her thing. Like without her rocket boosters.
Isn't that a baby diva you're looking at there?
No, she got DMA'd after. Like, I mean, yeah, you guys fucked her up, but like, just make sure you call it so everyone's on the same page as well. Just not just in this situation, but in like other situations as well. Just make sure you communicate their abilities. You know, there's Zarya, use bubble. Their Ryan's got no bubble, like because there's Zarya doesn't have bubble to give to the Ryan. Their Ryan's low shield. You know what I mean? Like their Lucio use speed boost. That's really crucial, especially in goats where resources is everything. In goats meta, remember that.
Nice.
Alright, good.
So, you guys didn't talk about ults, which resulted in you guys using more ults than you guys would have wanted. Meaning, you guys use 4 ults. Yeah, so just communicate what ults you're going to use, and it'll be easier to keep track of ults and not overuse ults. Because that's a big problem. Like, not just with you guys, but like for other teams as well. Even my team.
Quad,
Yeah.
get out.
Whoa.
Jump back.
Have these, Brad? No, they're gonna have that.
That's good. That's really good. Like, you guys are talking about ults now. Like, their ults. Ult dragon and stuff.
Oh, that
really good.
almost worked. Looking good.
I got mines. I can mine the choke.
Yeah, if you want to.
It's a very little thing, but don't play here as McCree. Play here instead, because if you're here, you have no cover. But if you're here, you have no cover. But if you're here instead, you just have this cover that you can poke in with. It's a minor thing, but you know,
Okay.
Zen should be able to kill you relatively easy, because you guys don't even have a diva as well to eat damage. So yeah,
Nice group,
Big
man.
pick.
He was wall around.
and then just play here. It's a minor thing. Just
Yeah.
Zaya's alone,
Just
right?
keep that in mind.
Zaya's alone, right? I'm gonna go punish
Yeah,
her.
they can still get to her.
Oh, ball, there's a Ryan.
Okay. I don't know. It's hard because you didn't really call you engage, but you said Zara's alone. Technically, she's not alone because that isn't really a diveable target or diveable area. So I don't know. It's weird. And then Winston dived. I think.
I'm the one who called out Zaya was alone, and I think Pykel went in for
Don't
it.
let them stay.
Yeah.
They got
Don't
I'd,
go.
I'd said a moment before that I was going to mine their choke.
Yeah.
I'll mind that show. Okay. Just save mines until when they come to that part, if you know what I mean. That little bridge part under the point from white. I don't know, like you're mining here, like yeah, you didn't intend for that to happen, but you intended to mine
Yeah.
like here or here.
No, it was pretty much where the Lucho is I tried to get, but it's hard to do.
Yeah, but even that.
Did they get stuck in the tree there?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Bad luck.
But it's like it's like a wasted ult.
It's wasted,
really, because,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you mine there, all they have to do is just shoot the mines and then, or just go around.
Or just
like-
walk into them and get support ult charge.
Just go, yeah. I mean, you shouldn't really do that, really, especially in goats. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really easy. Just shoot these mines down. Do it on point in the situation where they're forced to be, because they're not forced to be here. They can just go around. You know what I mean? They don't have to go in that direction.
Yeah, I'm playing angles.
what
Oh,
the
a
fuck?
co-op. Oh no. Alright, play back.
I don't know what happened.
No comment.
Just play back and poke.
I fucking jumped and I hit that little like knob
Co-op, let us know when you.
thing arch, and I got knocked off.
Just play back.
So you're 1 down and 5v6 and they're aggressing with goats and you're not playing goats, or even if you were playing goats, it'll be the same scenario. But you're 1 down. You guys have 2 options. You guys either poke at them from a safe distance and get out, or you try to take the fight to them because you have an ult advantage, but you guys don't. But you get what I mean. So you guys have options, yeah, and the calls aren't really being made, so you guys are just left to do whatever you really want, like whatever each person does, like wants to do, which is bad because it makes you guys all split. And when you're all split, you guys aren't really playing, as a team, which is bad because they'll just pick you off. So make sure like everyone's on the same page here.
I think I was poking from behind, to be honest, and them 3 were together, even though they were a little bit spread out.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm
Yeah.
on the archway now.
Run on me alone.
Am I just diving
Just
forward?
don't get on the point. I'm stalled.
Yeah.
Alright, go, 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 go.
That little high noon cancel
Zen,
just for
Zen,
the bullets. I like it.
What's your one?
Honestly, like high noon's pretty useless against goats.
Yeah, no, I also don't think that gave me any value anyway, but it's whatever.
I mean, like high noon itself isn't really.
It's a
valuable
pretty
against goats.
shit ult, yeah.
On the brick, I'm on the brick, I'm on the brick.
I'll pack it.
It's like here, I don't know. You guys decide to use ults, but you guys don't talk about it really, and then you're giving them so much ground because you guys don't talk about it. Because some people think that they're just poke, like it's just a reset, and they're just poking kills or something. You know what I mean? Like everyone needs to be on the same page here, especially.
Crazy, but okay. Top.
How did you get away
And you guys somehow win this.
Yeah, we got this. We got this. We got this.
Lucio now, Lucio.
I like that.
Lucio around point, Lucio. Lucio's one.
Need heals, need
Make sure you're aware of, like where your team is, especially target caller. Because if you're on the Lucio right now, the only person with you is the Moira. Moira plus Winston damage. Not very much. And your whole team is on the other side of this thing, which I talked about. So you're in their territory right now. You just got burnt for that. While their tanks are pushing your back line freely. So yeah, just make sure your position relative to your teams. It's like, yeah, that was a very winnable fight, but you guys didn't communicate what you guys were doing and like where you guys were going.
Baby Diva. It's still at point.
keep stalling, just stall the circle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got this.
What you
Are
do
we-
best.
This is a good stall.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep stalling.
Keep stalling.
Yeah,
Stall
it's
as long as you
fine.
can, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you don't die there. I like that, dude. I like that.
I'm still like full health.
I like that a lot.
Lucio half, Lucio one.
They're struggling so hard to kill you, dude.
Yeah, Zen in the
And you got
back.
90% off that. So they don't get a second fight.
Zen's half.
But actually no,
Mine's on
that's not
point.
that bad.
Get reloading.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh dear.
I got you, Rana.
I'm on the brick, I'm on the brick.
Yeah, the bird.
Send trans.
Watch the
trans.
bomb.
Rising?
Nice. Come on, winnable. Hold
Zen's at
targets.
the back, Zen's at the back. Zen, knock forward. Can we get the Zen?
Zen's
Zen
up.
is what?
One.
Focus the Zen, focus the Zen.
No, it's a fucking shit show. I'm gonna be real with you.
I got a Zarya on me on the bridge.
Lucho's one.
There's not much to say. I mean, they're using ults, you guys are using
Are
ults.
they?
Coming on point. 1, 2, 3, coming in.
Pocket Reno.
Yep, they're mine.
Nice. I'm on the
Crash
brick
him.
now.
Go, go, go.
Run.
Good zoning, guys. Good zoning. Huge.
Run still one, run.
Zai's half.
Yeah, communicate that.
That's half.
The Zarya bubbled, no bubble, you know what I mean? Just
That's
communicate
half.
that.
Nice.
Yeah, Lucio still.
Just the Lucho. Clean the Lucho.
Winnable. Zen's back on bridge.
Good shit.
And I think you guys can learn a thing from their mistakes. So they held on to both their tank ults in that fight, which they really shouldn't have. Especially when you guys started getting picked. Your Zarya was like pretty much the last to die, like of your front line. You know, with the exception of the supports. Your Zarya held on to Grav.
You mean there's Zarya?
Yeah, there's Zarya held on to Grav here.
Yeah.
So there's Zarya, like just ult, dude, just ult. And then you fucking Ryan just held on to Shadow as well, like, and then they held on to it even though you guys were on 99. makes no sense, and they were losing that fight. Like it was a very weird fight. Like not really weird, but like it was a very messy fight. I'd say.
Chaotic. Yeah.
But like, look at them. Like they're too careful with their ultimates, way too careful, and they're trying to get more value than they have any business getting. And then now they just lost that value because they lost the point.
Sorry, I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah.
6 minutes.
You should have died there, Michael. How the fuck?
So honestly, that was a messy fight, but the ideal play there when your ball was stolen.
Are we? Alright, I'm just gonna keep stalling.
Yeah. So the ideal play here, honestly, is to call for a regroup here, because you guys need to know, like, as soon as you get over 84%, like around 84% of most cough maps, the other team doesn't get a second fight. So if you get 84%, then you're guaranteed. Like if you win that fight, then you're guaranteed to win. Like, yeah, you're guaranteed to win. So like over 85, maybe 86 or 87, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's like the stall threshold. You get to there and then you can bail.
I'm still like full health. Don't worry.
Yeah, like right now, like just get out of there. Like honestly, if they were any good, to be honest, but like honestly, they should be able to burn you really easily, especially with the Zen Discord and everything. So just swing out of there. Like you're Hammond, you can get out really easily.
Yeah, Zen in the back.
Like right now, like you're guaranteed 90%, which is a guaranteed final fight. Like after you win, like that's if you win that fight, then it's over. You guys win. So yeah, just get out.
Had I been taking more damage, I probably would have, man.
Zen's half. Mine's on point.
And like right now, it's really shaky because you committed primal just to get onto point, and then Valquist also committed here. So you guys are investing in this fight now, but you guys didn't even communicate that. You know what I mean? Like you guys didn't know that you were investing. Like not everyone knew that they were investing in ults and actually invest in that fight. Because before your Hammond was, it was pretty funny. Like he was just stalling for a long time, but no one really knew that you guys were actually going to go in on that. You guys need to communicate that. Make sure everyone knows. Everyone's on the same page. So yeah,
Let's go.
That was probably the most ideal play, but you still won. So yeah.
Pretty much.
They couldn't hear me.
So we can beat them, my goats. Just try not to charge. Yeah, try not to charge into their team. Just go. Oh, swap.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Try not to charge in their team.
You want Brig or Lucio?
That's pretty funny.
I can go Lucio.
Yeah, you recognize that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ryan wasn't disciplined enough charges, which is fine. You'll learn over time.
Focus their right first and take it out. As soon as we do that, they crumble.
So as I said again, just get the Zen instead of the Moira. Zen's so much better.
No.
Bubble's a bit early there. You know the drill.
Get the Ryan.
And like you need to call their bubbles because they bubble their Ryan and bubble themselves. Just be like, yo, Zara no bubble. You know what I mean? Or we should push on their Ryan. Ideally, you want to save your bubble until after the Zara uses their bubble, because if they use their bubble, you can engage on them with your bubble, and then you can win that fight more often than not.
God, I'm real low. Get out. I'm behind. I'm pushing forward again.
Nice, you're at the front.
Nice. Can we get the diva? Focus the diva. Focus the break. Nice. I'm pushing forward. I'm low hay. Be there. Thanks, Julian. No
That's
shit.
it. Moira's getting massive.
Oh, what? I'm playing Lucio. Okay. Don't remember this.
That's it. Keep staggering him. Get the Zaya. Get the Zaya.
Back up.
Get out. Too far. It's okay.
Yeah. As I said again, like you're using rocket boosters and you're pushing into a full charge Zara in front of your Ryan shield. It's a fight that you won't win and you won't get value out of.
Just wanted her dead so bad, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough.
Easy mistakes. Yeah, I know.
Call it. They used bubble. That was a really big mistake because right now you guys can just fucking engage on them with your bubble. Oh, but then you guys don't have Ziva. But then you guys didn't communicate that as well, so not everyone knew.
Take cover.
Get back. They saw that we just used Zaya bubble.
Showering. I got the
Shadow.
So yeah,
I ate it.
it's silent. What the fuck just happened? Anyway, it's silent. Like, you shattered and then someone screamed big. That's all. Just make sure you call what target you're focusing on that shatter. Cause, yeah.
Nice, big
Chilling. Get the break. Big.
So yeah, just keep saying big, but you guys don't call target. Actually, it's inconsistent. That's what I'm saying. Just just refrain from calling big, because you know I do that a lot and I'm guilty of it. But yeah, just try to refrain from saying that.
Fuck. I'm shatter again. I'm shattering. Got the shatter.
That's too short notice. Like I got shatter again, shatter, and he just go for it. That's too short notice because your team isn't prepared for it. If you really want to shatter, like your Lucio should like really know, and then she'd be able to speed boost you and like just guide you, amp it, whatever. And really, like you guys had a moment of silence before that, but you guys didn't talk about their ults. You guys didn't talk about your ults. So just make sure you keep talking about your ults because ults are like make or break in goats, really.
Yeah, do a grab.
So yeah, right now, like you go through that tight corridor, and then you have to back out the same tight corridor if you're in trouble. So don't take a fight out there. Take a fight here. When they're here, you guys get engaged on them. Like when they're here, this area, which means they're open. Yeah. What?
I guess it's the same sort of problem we had on Marketplace. We tried to fight them in that little room rather than letting them come out and fighting them.
Yeah, it's like, especially if they're running Zen. I say again, if you find a tight corridor, Zen just volleys and volleys and volleys and volleys. Does so much damage to your shield, your resources, your HP, etc. So yeah, pick your fights wisely. Yeah, because you use Shatter and like you might have gone like 1 or 2 down, but you guys can't push on that. There's no way. Unless if you get like a 5-man, you know what I mean? It's like right now, as I said again, the punish. Like as soon as they like put the Diva Bomb here, they're playing super aggressive and they use bubble super early, so they won't have bubble going into you. A Shatter here when they're vulnerable would be really good.
Get beyond my shield. Get beyond.
So yeah, they're Ryan trying to charge you down and stuff. Like if you shattered them, it's guaranteed. And then Ryan failed somehow. I think it was just a split second too late.
Grab.
Nice. I'm on the Ryan. I'm swinging on the shield.
It's like right now, you just said grab and you instantly grabbed after. Make sure you communicate that. Especially if grab combo, let them come into what I just said before. If I can find it. Yeah, here. Let them come in here and then just grab the wall here. Just grab here, and then you'll get all of them in this little thing, and then Diva Bomb here, and then you can speed boost onto them. Because the thing about grabbing late here,
I've shot again.
I'll show you in a bit after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab for this.
Yeah, do a grab.
Okay, yeah, you guys talk about grab, but you guys gotta recognize, like, your Ryan is back here. Someone else, I think that's Alicia back here. Like, he has a super split, and you guys can't speed boost onto the grab focus because Ryan is really crucial when you're doing a grab bomb combo. He's the one that like charges their Reinhardt, or your Brig is super like needed as well.
Nice. I'm on the Ryan. I'm swinging on the shield.
Yeah, so like you guys didn't get any value after that.
No, come back.
Another 8. That was good. Very nice 8s.
Did you eat it again?
Yeah. I'm on the Ryan.
Yeah, you guys talk about eating the grab, but they're already pushing onto you, and you guys don't have a plan. So yeah, just make sure, like, just talk about it after. You know what I mean? Just not during match, because right now these guys just got shattered. You guys are going down. Your Reinhardt's dead.
If you notice, they haven't had a.
And like right now, since your Reinhardt's dead, just fall back to point, go as far as possible, and that just delays time. You just get try to get as much time on the board as possible without feeding too many ults. So like right now, just fall back to point.
Die on point, so cool.
It's difficult because you guys can live off this. You guys don't have to, especially they use their grav. If you guys were to die on point, you guys would be feeding so much ult charge as they are.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. So
we can actually feed our supports getting back alive. Yeah.
It's feeding your support ults. Like it's a concept that shouldn't really be used in scrims. Trust me. It's
Okay.
yeah, like it makes sense on like in theory, but in practice, like there's too many factors. It's too dangerous to feed support ults. Anyway, like your Lucio was here, like behind that wall.
Yeah, I was in the wrong
So-
position altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't speed boost your team back. Yeah.
If you want to stall, I can come back and shatter. Need it.
So like right now, like you guys don't know what you guys are doing. Like someone asked if you guys want to stall. Like that shouldn't be a question. Like you guys should, everyone should know what's going on. You're either stalling or you're backing off. You know what I mean? And then you guys half stalled. Like Diva was here, Lucio was here. You guys half committed a stall, and then you guys ultimately went back, which is just just don't do it. Make sure you guys know exactly what you're doing and do it.
Just soft reset, reset.
Get out Zaya, get out Zaya.
Get it.
That's a Lucio wall right here.
Yeah, I was trying to stall it to 85, I think.
I mean that's fine, dude. Like it doesn't always have to be 85. Like you rather get out and get like your team is really like already regrouped already. Like you rather get out and get like a clean fight than stall to a definite like one attack
I know, I don't think I've lost
and you die here. Yeah, you die here.
Alright, guys,
So, yeah.
85, guys.
Yeah, it's
I'm halfway to rally.
Alright, they're coming in. Push back.
But right now you don't have your Lucio, so don't go beyond this. As I said again, that little part, you're so vulnerable when you're attacking that. So just sit back here, hide behind cover, wait for your Lucio, and just get a proper regroup.
Nothing.
Yeah, like when you're falling, just like you should just be falling back here. Honestly, like just save ults. I mean, you're 85%, which is huge. You guys just need to win one fight. They got ults coming up. Yeah, you guys got ults as well coming up. Save your ults.
Nothing.
Okay, back up.
I'm no shield.
yeah, I've lost health.
Wait, wait, no,
Yeah, see, they got a free team wipe off of that. You know what I mean? And what did they use? They used Shadow only. Like, just don't fight here. Like, okay, when you're attacking, just avoid being here when you're poking. You want to be here as like as short as possible, as short as time possible. You want to be in cover as soon as you get into this position here, and especially if you're one down, especially a Lucio, he can't speed you out. Just hide behind environmental, and they don't have a reason to push. Because if they push there, you guys have the advantage suddenly. You know what I mean? Like you guys have the advantage, and then they're at a disadvantage, and you guys should be able to push onto them really like relatively easily. But like instead, you guys got a bit too aggressive without a Lucio speed boost and without Lucio heals, and you guys got team wiped. Like they only committed one ult while you guys committed one ult. So you guys traded ults and you guys got team wiped instead of them. So yeah.
We'll have a grab bomb soon.
Just make sure you regroup properly. If you're gonna regroup properly. If you do something properly. If you stagger point properly. Make sure everyone's on board and no one's like half-heartedly doing stuff because they don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Alright, we're waiting for Moro.
Yeah, I like that call. That's a good call. When you guys are regrouping, I like to just call last one out of spawn is, this character. And you guys do that here, which is good. Because as soon as you guys see that character, you guys know to push in.
Do you want to go right?
So it's good.
Just stay out at spawn.
And
go.
silence again. No old talk, no old talk.
No, go top right, then we meet him in the middle.
Top right.
Right, we're all here? Yep. Nice.
Top right, that's a good call because yeah, you guys know they're bunched up here. And you guys know you're at a disadvantage if you play here. So yeah. Top right's a good call.
We should fake right.
I almost have right.
Yeah, fake right.
Double back.
When you're faking something,
This is like next level shit that we failed with. Because I think you went too far, B.
We faked a bit too hard.
Yeah.
the thing is, when you try to fake something, you'll always fail it. No matter what. You always fail it.
Especially when we call it at the last minute.
Yeah. Unless if you guys go into a custom game and practice it, or practice it in a script. Like you guys don't even know what you're doing, but you guys just call fake it. You guys don't know how far you're gonna go. People have different, like it's so subjective the distance you have to go to fake it. Everyone has different opinion, like thoughts of where like how far they should go in order to fake it and then come back. You know what I mean? And then everyone's not on the same page here. So communication is key, and practice in custom games. You guys don't even need to be in a scrim just to practice faking. Just practice in custom game. Like go far and then make sure everyone's on the same page and everyone knows what they're doing here.
Just stay out of
So.
No,
Yeah, I know. I predicted it. You guys were gonna fail this,
we're all here.
and you
Yep,
said it.
nice.
And you guys hear me talking about all combos here, or ults they have.
Fake right.
I almost have
Fake
Yeah,
right.
fake right.
Double back, double back,
Yeah,
double
double
back,
back.
double back. What do you got? What do you got?
Ready? Come on, guys.
Yeah, no.
See, like your Ryan had a different idea of how far he was gonna go in order to fake it, but the rest of the team had like a different idea to their Ryan as well, like to your Ryan, sorry, as well. So yeah, a bit of frustration there.
I think the strat works because we got them away from the choke, but we were just a little bit disorientated.
Hammer down.
I mean, they shouldn't be faked like that
Yeah.
easily.
Alright, they're gone, yeah. On your hammer down.
Okay, that was way too early on that sound barrier. As I said
Yeah.
again, like the new Lucio, 750 HP, and it goes down super fast. So yeah, you want to sound barrier as late as possible in any scenario.
Yeah.
Go, grab.
It's big, it's big, it's big.
Oh, we're all grabbed. I couldn't fucking look.
It's alright, man, it's alright.
It's good, it's good.
That's fine.
Nice work.
I got the run. Run slow.
Yeah, like I hear people like the comms right now. You know, I just heard it's worth. Ryan's low. There's no target calling. You guys don't know what you're doing. Lucio's fighting here somewhere. Zarya's trying to beam a diva, but she has to face back here. Half your team's falling back. Your Ryan, I think, got charged or something. You know what I mean? Like no one knows what they're doing right now. Make sure you guys got a target that you guys got to call. Make sure you're grouped up. A good call here, as I said again, stack on. So stack on Ryan.
Get the
Guys,
break
Ryan,
next, break.
Like at this moment, yes, you just wipe. You lost your main tank. You lost Brig, whatever. Just wipe here. Oh, actually, they lost their main tank as well. Actually, oh no, whatever. Sorry, don't. Anyway, no, you guys fall back anyway.
Reset.
If you survive that, you probably do. That. So yeah, silence. I don't want to hear silence. Like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I have? What did you guys do? What do you guys have? You know what I mean? Like, you right now, you should be saying, like, you know, don't have grab bomb combo. They use sound barrier. They use trans. They use shatter. Don't have nothing. And this next fight with last fight, we have Ryan ult. Let's try to speed boost our Ryan in order to ult, and then like in order for our Ryan to ult into that team, etc. Like, you guys should recognize that, and you guys should make a plan. See how fast I just made a plan there? Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, complete silence right now.
I'm back. We need to save resources.
Yeah,
Alright,
complete
so
silence.
it's gotta be Diva, Hammer.
Yep, it's gonna be a shadow. Then I can give build up a grab if we keep the fight going.
Alright, ready? Are we here?
Yep.
They don't have bombs.
Let's
They
go
don't
straight
have bombs.
upstairs.
So right now, you guys gotta recognize that you guys can't get a clean fight in. What I mean by clean fight is you guys can't get a clean fight here and then go rotate to point and then still have time to cap point. So like right now, your Lucio should be making a play where he goes around server just to contest point here, and then yeah, like as a shot caller, I call that and I make sure Lucio knows that he has to be able to touch point. So yeah, you guys won't get a clean fight in before.
Gonna touch.
Yeah. So you guys, yeah. So you recognize that. You recognize now that you guys got to touch. It's too late. They're already in your team while your Lucio's still with your team. You know what I mean? Your Lucio should be like on a fucking mission right now. Yeah. So yeah.
I'll touch.
It's like yeah. Right now you said you touch, and the Lucios came in, but too late there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your focus out of spawn. It should be. I need to go touch point. You guys fight them here. Whatever. Shitty arrows. Sorry, but like you know what I mean.
Good to me.
Actually, looks like a really winnable match when you watch the VOD.
I think it was,
Yeah.
and I think Nepal was. Is it Nepal the last one we played? I think Nepal was close as well. It's just
And yeah, like it's
we
really,
made some
it's
bad
really
calls.
winnable.
Mm.
It's really winnable when I actually explain like what you guys need to do. Like it's mainly ults, right? And then how are you gonna deal with ults? So your short collar like needs to be on top of that. You know what I mean? Should be making sure that your whole team is together. Your shot caller should be making sure that call has been made. If your target caller, like if your shot caller and target caller is different, if your target caller isn't making calls, you need to make sure that your target caller is like okay as in you know, they're not tilted or whatever, that they're still in their game. And if they're too tilted to target call, then you guys need to nominate a second target caller, or you need target call yourself. So you guys just need to recognize.
Yeah. What are you gonna
Yeah,
play?
just recognize your
Who's
shot
winning
callers
main
and stuff,
support?
and make sure that make sure that you guys communicate and talk about their odds
So
and
probably-
what your odds
we probably
and
need
what
to
your
do,
like integrate that with your plan, because you guys have like you guys improved your
Do we wanna
planning
run
somewhat.
Ryan
Like I've seen
Barrier
from last
on
time,
attack
you guys are talking about where you guys are going
and
now, which is
dive on
really good.
defense?
Like I like that, and then you guys
Or
are
do we need
potentially
to
talking about
focus?
fakes and stuff. But you guys need to practice that in custom game, which is
Okay.
all right, because just calling that like is a huge improvement from last time. But make sure
So
you're
we're doing
integrating
dive, attack.
what you're going to do about their odds and what you're going to do with your odds in your plan, as well as where you're going to go. So yeah,
You mean if
just-
D wants to
just
Widow?
build on,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean?
if
Just
anybody wants
build
to
on to your planning.
This one will be from my point of view.
Yep.
So it's up, and I think I'm playing characters that I'm pretty garbage at.
Was there another VOD one rather than just watching your point of view?
Yeah, I don't know whether you skip through the next map.
I'll just skip through Dorado and I'll talk about Hanamura.
This was a good one if I remember.
Hanamura, yeah, we played well. Rubbish on the first point, but then we came back and played well on the second point, especially.
And we employed some 6 strats if I remember correctly.
And we actually played these strats the other night as well, and we were pretty convincing with how we played. I think out of all the maps, I think as strat-wise, we're sort of a little bit organised with Hanamura. The others we really need to work on, but I think tonight's definitely VOD review will help us with Li Chang and even Nepal.
Just like 1 or 2 walking.
Are we backing off or are we?
No, we're just holding the stairs. No.
Go to the wall.
Yeah, your May got distracted with something out of
The-
position.
I got
It's like-
destroyed by Brig, and then yeah, just got melted. I don't know if you can
now,
see her.
like, your Ryan, your whole team should be playing around here, and make sure you're distracting them. Make sure you're showing presence. Make sure you show it, like you're telling them you can't just walk in here for free. Our Ryan's here, you know what I mean? But that's exactly what they do, which is really good because they didn't fight the Mate, and they're playing goats. So like what they did was they bunched up into a little ball and they called 3-2-1 speed boost, and everyone just went in with the speed boost, and that's how you got caught out of position. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were going to play goats, and we were ready for the May War, but I just got stunned as soon as I went to press E, whatever it is. Left click.
I can't really hear it, but I've like you guys antied a couple people. Just call what things you antied. Right now, oh rip! Don't ult on point here. Just ult behind point. It's just a little thing here.
How come there's 2 Vs? Doesn't make sense.
The tire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like you're Ryan, you're like around here when your shield started getting low, and you were getting low. Just fall back behind environmental cover when you don't have a shield, and yeah, your Junkrat just ult outside there where you're safe. Even take the effort to run outside and then ult, because right now you're running the risk of them destroying your tire and destroying you in a vulnerable situation, which is bad. And then you charge? Unlucky. But you were too low anyway, so you had to make a play. So that's fine. They fell really far back and let the tire get so much momentum on them, which is really stupid of them. But you get my point. Just hide behind cover, make sure you're safe, and then tire. Yeah. And then make sure if your shield's getting low around here, just fall back into environmental. Yeah, so right now, like the Lucio's getting 3 damage on you, and he's getting serious damage because you're AFK pretty much, and he's able to headshot you like a lot. And yeah, he picks you off there. So yeah, just make sure you're safe before you ult there.
We still hold this. Nice, brick slip.
You should just die here, honestly, because especially with their ghost momentum, if you die after the point gets captured, you guys are fucked. Like, and then you guys have to, like, if you die after, like, they should pretty much stall you until, like, stagger you until point gets captured, because after point gets captured, Lucio just amps it, and then they're already in sight before you guys respawn, and they're your healers. Like, you know what I mean?
Did
Make
you
sure
see
you
that
just
contenders
die here.
game where they did that? Where the team
Yeah, I
died
saw
after
that.
they took the first point and then they speed boosted the second point. Actually took it before.
Yeah, and that's the threat that you run in here by staying alive, and it happens everywhere, like all the time.
Switch off May now, Renner. If we're not
It's like right now, as I said again, if you want to, like, just push into them, honestly. Who's the other healer? Was Anna still alive?
What are we gonna?
Oh no, oh yeah, she was still alive.
Might as well just stay
She was
mate.
falling back there, which is fine. I mean,
May as well just stay mate.
they got distracted on the Lucio, and then
Just
Anna
stop
just
it,
fell
just
back.
it's good.
I mean, Anna survived there without feeding no charge, which is the best case scenario. But honestly, just to be safe, just rush into them. Just rush into them, honestly.
Middle, to be honest.
Then we can take control. No, they come on left.
Can we hang out on the balcony directly above main?
So right now they use bubble way too early. You guys need to know that they did that and communicate that with your team.
So that way we can wall them off.
Middle. Okay.
Coming in main.
Yeah, we should be right here to wall them off.
So like, if you're playing a non-ghost composition with a Reinhardt versus in a ghost composition, you guys want to play on point here, especially with a Mei, because right now May's gonna wall this off, and you guys don't have a Lucio, so your Ryan needs to jump down here and then walk all the way here in order to fight them. You know what I mean? And that's a long run, even with a Lucio, because he can't just jump down. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? And especially like second point, it's most ideal if you don't want to run goats. It's most ideal to run a dive on second point because it's so good. Dive is so good on second point defense. Obviously, goats is better, but you know what I mean.
Not like using brick rally, but you know what I mean.
It's like right now, yeah, just no value there.
Grouping together.
Oh, they're waiting for Diva, man.
Like right now, they're doing the right thing here. They're bunching up because they know that you guys have a Mei. They're bunching up as a group, and then as they count down, they're gonna speed boost, and then more often than not, that should be able to get them all through, or like mostly all of them, unless if they make a huge mistake here. So we'll see. Like after this, if they make a mistake, then you get a free wall. If they don't make a mistake and group up and like bunch up and amp it, then they should all get through before you wall them off. So we'll see either one of those scenarios happen here.
Are they coming in now?
It's like right now their Ryan made a mistake and you got a free wall off, which is huge. So yeah. Right now, no one can damage their Ryan. You know what I mean? Your Zarya is up here and she can't really risk jumping down. It's not worth it. What your Mei is shooting the side of your shield. Your Ana is doing 75 damage per shot on his shield. I don't know where your Ashe is. Ashe is up here, like able to shoot the Reinhardt, but not able to kill him because the Reinhardt can just twist and turn with his shield up because his shield's still full. Your Reinhardt is literally doing nothing right now here. Like he can throw a 5-strike, but that's 100 damage.
Typical.
So play around here, whatever, and make sure you're close enough to engage if you guys have a wall, and make sure you not make sure, but like it's best to have a Lucio in this scenario because you guys can speed onto the people that's walled off. So like right now, I predict that their Ryan's not gonna die here.
Alright, nice. I'm gonna charge the Ryan. Charging the Ryan, go the Ryan.
Okay, no, you charged the Ryan, which is huge. Yeah, that was good. Their Ryan fucked up by doing that. I don't know why he did that. Not gonna lie. I think he just got pressured.
Big. That was a good wall, Renner.
You should have just stayed with his back to the wall and put the shield up.
Yeah, he would have just lived.
Get some
Their Ryan just fucked up badly.
I'm backing off.
Yeah, silence again. Talk about yours, talk about their odds.
We have Ana, we have Shatter.
Okay, no, yeah, stop talking about it now, but look where they are. They're almost able to engage on you, while you guys are still talking about ults, you know what I mean? Like, you guys aren't completely focused, and then they can just rush on you while you guys are distracted.
They're coming top left.
So make sure as soon as you finish a fight like that, as soon as you recognize that backing off or you team up them, be like, yo, what else do they have? Instantly. Like, don't have a gap.
I see them top left, Zaya.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they're
It's like right now, you only talked about half of like ults and stuff. You only acknowledged Ryan and Ana really. You might have said that Zen ult, but I didn't quite catch that. But you guys didn't talk about their ults at all.
They're coming fast. They're coming fast.
They're coming fast. You guys are really caught off guard. You know what I mean? Like I think your Ana's over here somewhere.
Shattering.
Okay, no, your Ana's back. Sorry. But yeah, you guys are caught off guard.
Was that a shattering? Oh, bad luck, Disco. I didn't notice that on the night.
I'm gonna go for a grab bomb.
You coming way back?
They don't have a Ryan though.
Yeah. Alright, pushing forward now. Ready? Are we ready?
They're gonna probably go.
Alright, wall down.
D.Va on top right.
They're all on
I'm on the Zen.
Go for it.
Never mind. I got booped off.
See, no one knows what you guys are doing. Your Ryan got booped off. You guys were calling to engage, but your Ryan got booped off. You guys don't know what you guys are doing. What shot call should be like, yeah, regroup point or regroup back of point, back of stairs or something. You know what I mean? Just make sure everyone's on the same page. Make sure the communication's there.
Ryan's
So, yeah.
coming top left again.
Yeah, they're still holding up there.
Yeah,
Are we holding point? Yeah, let's hold point.
Hold point, yeah.
I have Bob for when I drop.
So like now you talk about it like after like a long time.
Yep.
Oh god, I need
I'm
your
gonna
assist.
stay with you, V.
Oh, they're coming through.
Like right now, you say that you recognize that you have Bob, like you say that you have Bob and you communicate with the team, which is only half the way there. You need to communicate like how you're gonna use Bob. What are we gonna wait for them to come down? I'm gonna bob them and then we're gonna push into them when they're phased, or we're gonna grab and I'm gonna throw Bob in there while Bob's doing this amount of damage, or you're gonna use May ult with grab. You know what I mean? You guys aren't talking about ults, and you guys aren't talking about how you're gonna use your ults. Yes, it's a good step in communicating that you have an ult with the team, but you guys aren't communicating on how you're gonna use it, which is very important as well.
I'm gonna grab.
Charging. Got the run. I got the D.Va, sorry. Nice.
See, like now you just overused ults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it always happens. If you guys don't talk about ults, you guys are gonna overuse ults.
Wait, no more ults.
Oh yeah, we used like 4 ults.
Yeah. So honestly, like in that situation, Bob shouldn't have been used. And the clear, like you'll team up them pretty much every time, unless if they get a support off. But a clear wipe is Grav May ult. That's a clear wipe combo, unless if they manage to pop a support ult, which their Zen didn't. I don't know why, but yeah.
We didn't use Shatter and we didn't use Trance or Nano, so it's
That's actually not too bad.
yeah, it was a lot better than I thought it was.
Okay, so now you guys kind of talk about it, about what ults you guys have, but you guys don't talk about how you're gonna use them and your plan for next fight.
I used 3.
Yeah, I thought we used like all of them though.
Although probably Maze all by itself could have done the job.
Alright, we can turn Shadow.
Bink someone.
May plus Grav always, unless if they're in such a tight corridor, which they were in, but they pushed out just a little bit. And if you guys didn't grab them, then they wouldn't have stayed there.
How did I go from gold limbs to no metal?
It's like no, just silence here. Just silence. You guys don't talk about what they have. You guys don't recognize that they have the bomb combo. It's pretty obvious now because we see it on our screen, but you guys don't recognize that they have the bomb combo. You guys don't take measures to
I think
prevent it.
I think we did call it before. It's just that we didn't. They haven't used it, and we didn't keep talking about it.
Yeah,
unless
like,
V does talk about it coming up.
Yeah, but like every single fight, even though if they have the same ults, it's always a different plan. Or pretty much always a different plan. And you guys don't talk about support ults as well. Yeah, support ults, whatever, Rhine ult.
Metal, fuck.
Like, after you win that fight, it should be instantly, yo, what else do they have? We have this, this, and this. We're gonna use this, this. We're gonna engage this area, and then in order to draw out this of their ults, you know what I mean? Like, just make sure that you guys take into account what ults you guys have and what ults they have before making a plan, and that plan needs to take into account both those factors in order to make that plan and make that fight and make that engage. So yeah.
It's me.
They're coming May. Can you wall them off?
I'm struggling to get there.
It's like your Zen is sitting open in point, which is prone to their Zen sniping you. Just sit in cover, like back there somewhere. which is best place to sit as a healer. This is not a good place to sit as a healer, typically. But if you get an anti off here, which is really useful.
Sorry, where did you say is a better spot for Anna to sit?
I'll go back. So that's honestly like a decent spot for Anna to sit, because if you guys can get a wall off and a couple members here, if you guys can get an anti off, that's massive. But here is what I like to make my healers sit. If you turn here.
Then we have. They're coming middle. That way we can wall them off.
Alright. There we go. Where your Zen is right now. That is probably one of the best spots. And the other side of point, where pretty much this like symmetrical. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can do it over there as well. And then you can hug the spawn wall as well. Because what you guys can do, especially if you guys can't really heal each other without using the nade, like you guys can't heal yourselves. You know what I mean? And then if you're in a tight scenario where you're fucking low and then your other healer's gone or something, dead or something, just fall back and you guys can get healed from spawn and then pull back out as healers. That's super strong. So yeah.
Yeah, they're still holding up.
Are we holding point? Yeah, let's hold point.
Hold point, yeah.
This was just a bit before, yeah.
Nice.
No more else, no more else.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah, so a little bit forward.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let it play out, honestly.
Yep.
We didn't use Shatter, and we didn't use...
Rather than stopping up visor again.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it was a lot better than I thought it was.
Wait, what? What's up?
I said rather than stuffing up visor again.
Yeah.
I thought we used...
Visor's just
Maze all by itself could have done the job.
too
I beat
fucking
someone.
buggy. Anyway, yeah, as I said again, Zen, just don't sit in the open.
Golden limbs to no metal. Fuck.
You can get sniped by like
Come on,
their
man,
Zen
man,
super
Can you
easily.
wall them off?
I'm struggling to get there.
They're going
you'll be
bottom
fine.
left, bottom left.
No.
Like unintentionally, your Ryan's in here now, which is really good. I mean, you fell back because you jumped off the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good position, honestly. Even if your Ryan is solo in this position, it's a good position.
Yeah, they're just hiding.
And like, you don't need to hold shield here. You can just sit behind this and just wait. I don't know if oh yeah, your Ryan's AFK at the moment. Like, yeah, but you know what I mean. Just sit here. Just don't even need to hold shield. Just save your resources. Wait for the May wall to come out, and then you can just charge. You can literally just press fucking shift and go in.
Nice.
And look, right now, that's a good position to land an anti. Yeah. And your Zarya's range isn't good enough to do damage, so your Zarya just sit with your Ryan here, which is better.
I got Zion.
And he does press Q, but too late when the wall's about to go down, and he's in a bit of a tough situation.
But as a plus, he did bubble him as he was charging. So that was good timing.
That was good. Yeah, that was really good.
They're on the mega health part.
Ooh, there's a break stuck in here.
Yeah,
Go.
Charging. I got the break.
Okay, fall back.
Charging crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. You guys recognized that. Not to get too greedy.
Top left again, top left.
But here again, like, I keep talking about it. Talk about what else they have.
I don't think that's a bad play, Pickle. If you and Disco stay on point, while the rest of us just hold high ground. And then if they're all coming high ground, we can just all drop to point.
Yeah, like right now, like what's happening right now is, they're free to come here, and they can't get walled off yet, but they're poking damage into you. Even if you have a shield up, they're still poking damage into you, and that distracts them. You know what I mean? And they can just, like, they'd even try to bait out the wall like that. It was a cute attempt, I'd say. But if your Ryan's here, and if you have a full charge Zarya here, you're throwing volleys into them, and they can't find that angle into your Mei here if your Mei's sitting up there. So you see what I mean? Like, you're putting a lot of pressure here, and your Zen's throwing volleys after volleys into their team. But he's doing it at that angle now. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just hold here, apply pressure. Pressure is the best way to hold this second point. That's rally. And the D.Va just botted out and got D-Max.
Oh wow,
It's like they try that group up thing, amp it up together, but you know, they left their Zen behind. And you guys need to recognize that, honestly. like if you guys were sitting up here, you guys had a view over the wall, and you guys could see the Zen.
You want to shout?
Nice, nice.
Go on, go on.
They're out team.
Yeah, I'm shouting. Get the run, can we get the run? Run. Nice. Can we get the baby diva?
So yeah, as I said again, you guys overuse your ults. Because you guys didn't talk about what else you're gonna use.
We actually used more that fight than we did the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, they used 6 ults then, I think.
Yeah, we gotta call our ults better. We go back up top.
Yeah, and I even said we used too many ults there.
And the grav, and I think they were beating something else. I don't know. Just
They used Trey.
They used rally, definitely.
Oh, you guys, yeah, you guys talk about it. That's good.
Wow, we're amazing, guys.
That's good.
I had to use the
No, they use grab. They use grab because it's fine.
Oh yeah, they did.
See how good that is as well. Because one of you guys are like, oh, they'll probably have grav, but then another person knows that they already use grav, and then you guys identify that they didn't have grav, which is good. Like that's why like encouraging everyone to talk about ults is the best, because you don't see the whole picture. You know what I mean? Someone else could see something that you missed. So yeah,
They'll have diva bombs.
just make sure you just encourage everyone to talk about ult tracking.
Left side, on me.
Oh no, they shouted as well.
Yeah, they're coming. Left.
See? Yeah, there you go. Someone recognized that they shouted, and then you made the call.
Left side of main.
Now Ryan's middle. Ryan's middle still. Ryan and Diva.
Yeah, runs.
Yeah, I see him.
But your shot caller should just be holding tab really, and then just seeing what they have, because they switched to a sim and you guys didn't recognize it, or you guys recognized it or didn't communicate it and didn't make a plan on how to follow up the sim. And
then
Sim's TPing on the cat.
so yeah, like right now you say sim's TP in, but too late. Like you guys didn't recognize that as a sim, and then now you're out of position. You know what I mean? Like you guys should be fighting here, and then you guys see the sim, you guys can just just fight them there, which is really easy. But like you guys didn't recognize that that a sim, and you guys didn't shift playstyle because of it, which meant that they had the advantage on point. They might not win this fight because you guys have the trans, but I don't know what happens. Let's just see what happens. But
they're all
they have the advantage here.
TP, they're all cap. I got trans.
I got Zen. Got 2.
I'm charging. Got the brick.
So yeah, you guys win this fight.
We got May for the
Can we get the Zaya? No, Ryan's the one. Nice. Get the diva out of mech. Get diva out of mech. Nice. Leave the diva.
Nah,
Leave out.
I'm just gonna switch side anyways.
Alright, how are we vote? We've got Shadow.
We got
We've
Bob.
got Bob. Alright, try not to use one without the other.
Yep. I'll probably put Bob as soon as they go on to point again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I saw this in a scrim the other day where a team did it against like my team, but a good way to get a shatter off, a free shatter off, is to bob into their team, because when like just think of their Ryan as here right now. Just think of that as their Ryan, and think of this as your Ryan and your team. All right. Can you guys picture that? So I'll draw it again.
Yeah, I think I've seen this on by your Overwatch. Yeah, they showed ways of doing Bob, and this was one of the ways they did it as well.
Yeah, send Bob in. They get booped up into the air, and you get a free shadow. Good.
Another good one is Bob and McCree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Close main. Going top left, I believe. Yeah.
So I think there was a quad made use one but not the other, but in the combo that's deadly.
Top left.
So just recognize what combos you have and use
Okay.
it accordingly.
I think the call was don't use it without the other.
Zen, come up.
I swear it was...
I think it was don't use one, don't use them both.
Can we get the Zaya? No, Ryan's the one.
Hold up.
Get the diva out
It's
of
coming
mech.
up.
Get the diva out of mech. Nice. Leave the diva.
Nah,
Leave out.
I'm just gonna switch side anyways.
That's poor choice of words if it was.
Alright, how are we vote? We've got Shadow.
We got
We've
Bob.
got Bob. Alright, try not to use one without the other.
Was used both.
Yeah. It was I don't know, I'm being really picky right now, but like, it was a bit of a poor choice of words, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Double
like,
negative.
and yeah, and you guys don't even.
Yeah,
figure out how
I
you're gonna
clearly wasn't sure about the order.
Yeah. That's fine. Like, and you guys didn't talk about how you're gonna use it as well, and you guys are playing this high ground, which is like you have to fall down then use the combo. Like, if you guys just play this initially, you guys can just go ahead and use the combo. But right now, you have to fall without getting killed or poked too much. So yeah.
Look out, Ryan's close.
I mean, it was good that you identified that there was a combo there, but yeah, just make sure you communicate on how, because your Ryan might not be aware of his combo. Like, your Ash might not be aware of this combo. But yeah.
They reran your main.
Yeah, they're in main. They're trying to like debate.
Yeah, call their bubble usement. So they use bubble on Reinhardt, not their Reinhardt.
Out of position.
TP'd again.
Shattering, shattering.
Double bottom cap.
Oh, that was a good shatter.
Thanks, Dave.
Nice.
But like honestly, like you should be down here anyway, especially if they have a sim, because yeah, they have the major position in here. But that was a really nice shatter, and then yeah, that wall separated them.
Steve's one.
Good timing. They almost got that.
Luke, get back if you're gonna die.
He's not gonna die.
He almost died.
Yeah.
I think there's
No, leave her. It's just baby diva. Leave her.
There's a mini Daber out there.
Yeah. Right now, it's still silence. Like, talk about what else to have. Even though someone's like, oh, leave mini, like you can make that call, but make sure you talk about ults as well. Because right now, when you're staggering Diva, like, you know, you're just fucking taking a piss with her, and it's pretty funny as a baby Diva, like when you're staggering her. But talk about ults as well, like whilst you're doing it, you know. Yeah, complete silence. Yeah.
They're coming in. They're coming in. Kill her now. Yeah, nice.
That was a good stagger.
That was a good stagger, guys. Good job.
50 seconds.
Yeah, still silence.
Alright,
50 seconds, and we're close to
Just use ults when you get them.
Yeah, now you talk about it. I mean, which is all right because you got staggered to Diva anyway. But yeah,
They'll
just
have
get in the habit of saying it really early.
Symmetra shield.
What do you say?
We have to destroy the TPs.
There's a Zen going top left.
You're on top?
No, he's
Yeah,
going
they're
back
all
middle.
middle again. Rockets used.
Destroy teleporter as soon as you see it.
Yeah, you guys don't recognize that you have trans, which you can use to play a bit more aggressive. You guys don't recognize that you have Mayot, which you can use to play more aggressive. So make sure you guys learn to shift your play style whilst like when you have ults, or when you have specific ults and ult combos, or when they have ults and ult combos. Don't always have the same playstyle going into it. So yeah, that should be a plan that's made up before you go into a fight.
Oh, I got the right.
It's like, for example, that playstyle thing, like, yo, we have Ryan, let's go, we have Shatter, let's play more aggressive with our Lucio here. You know what I mean? So shift playstyles in order to suit your ult needs or counter suit their ult needs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's huge.
Oh, I got shoved there. Oh, fuck.
Steve's on fire? Fuck. Oh,
Yeah, you guys don't talk about the plan and they just exploded on you. And you guys also didn't talk about, like, you guys didn't target focus as well, which they just, you know, they just won with Shatter, pretty much, that fight.
You want to just... Wait.
I got a trance to hold.
Nice. We have trance out here. I've shot us in. I got the break. Shattering.
I'm switching.
I'm going to grab soon.
Yeah, winnable.
Destroy tires.
Keep Pykel up. He has grab.
So like now in a stalling situation, you guys talk more about ults than you guys do in like a a fight situation. So this is what you should be doing. You know, I have grab soon. Like, make sure you communicate that. I have May ult soon. I have Shatter soon. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Yeah, you guys should be doing this, but more regularly and more consistently.
It's fat, but no one's there to play it.
Yeah.
Switch to stall heroes. You know, you got the May already. I see a Doom coming out. You're dead as Ryan. Go ball or something. Play a Moira here for more heals. You're not gonna get trans. So.
Okay, that is a win for us. We staggered.
B.
I mean, yeah, like it's picky, but just stall heroes. When you're not close enough to ult, when you're not gonna get the ult, just switch to Switch your Moira, switch your Mole, switch your May, switch your Doom, switch your Tracer.
Goats, yeah. Goats but Sim, yeah.
Goats with Sim. Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
Not Lucio. We don't need Lucio, we need a Zenty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
My mistake.
Wait, you guys talk about the comp, but I want to see
It'd
this.
be
Hold up.
easier straight on
Yeah,
point.
it's easier on point. We're more close range.
Then we're there.
Okay, this is very voice go. This is very fucking subjective, but honestly, in my very opinion, this is my opinion right now. I reckon you replace the what the fuck? Okay, wait, don't worry. This is interesting. But like, I'll talk about goats. I've talked about this with you guys the other night. But with goats, you guys got certain roles, and every single character in goats is significant and brings value towards the goats composition in some way. You got the Reinhardt of the shield, right? Let's just talk about so just imagine this is a diva, right? This May is a diva. All right, so you got the Ryan shield, right? And the Ryan takiness and the Ryan engages, and Ryan shield is able to block damage. You got the Lucio speed boost to complement your Reinhardt in order to engage on them with speed and amp it and stuff. And then especially, and then what comes with Lucio is a support ultimate. And then now you're bringing in a Zenyatta. He's got the damage, not just in his volleys, but in his discords. And he's got another support ultimate. But if you pair these two with triple tank, you're not going to get enough heals. That's where Brig comes in, and Brig complements the Reinhardt as well. Oh, that's a weird arrow. Brig complements the Reinhardt as well, just by being, like a right-hand man, like a presence there with a shield, able to shield bash and punish targets as well. So that's what Brig's job is. And then Zarya, ever since these double support ults come out, Zarya, as soon as you grab a Zarya, you will draw out a support ult at least, maybe even two if they fuck up really badly. But Zarya is there to bring out support ults and combo. And then D.Va's sole purpose there is to bring in defense matrix, able to eat some damage and try to eat Grav. But her sole item in her kit is her D.Va bomb, able to combo with the Zarya. So if you want to replace one of these characters, I'll clear out the screen. If you want to replace one of these characters with a DPS hero, you would want to replace D.Va because she has objectively like less value than all the rest of the characters towards goats. So yeah, that's why you see their comp, they decide to replace D.Va with the May, and that's what I think you guys should do. But what I say it becomes subjective, really subjective when it comes to sim goats on Hanmura, because everyone has different perspectives, and you guys obviously have a comp here, which makes sense because your Moira complements your whole team by getting that burst heal onto point where it's a very tight choke and everyone's there. Your Zen complements your team by having the discord and having the damage. Briggs obviously there, you know what I mean. And then you guys recognize that you don't really need speed boost here because you're already on the point and there's not really much targeted speed boost here. But in my subjective opinion, I reckon that you'd still want to do what they're doing and replace D.Va with DPS character. That's just my opinion. This makes all the sense in the world. So if this works for you and if you guys are comfortable doing this, then go right ahead. But yeah, this is a little explanation of what goats is, in case you guys,
Oh, that's good.
What if they fast push us?
And like that goes with any comp really. When you choose characters for a comp, see what complements each other. You know, a Mercy complements a Pharah. You know what I mean? Like that's a classic example. Make sure you have characters that complement each other, but not just their own thing. You know what I mean? And that's back to an example to Li Jiang Tao when you guys ran like Winston Hammond. You know what I mean? Like they don't really complement each other there.
Is everyone hold back?
Which is the problem with that comp. So yeah.
Right side.
Yeah. Call that before you run out of spawn door. Call right side before you run out of spawn door. Make sure you guys know exactly where you're going.
Not that right.
Okay, not that right. You know what I mean? Like,
we just stand on the top and do nothing.
you guys are really split right now. You guys wasted time. And you guys are taking poke damage. Like, Izari nearly died there. Make sure everyone knows exactly what the plan is.
Oh, I got booped.
Mass workstage.
Yeah, I'm charging. No, I didn't get it.
So, like, as soon as you TP and as soon as you're on point, literally do nothing. Literally do nothing. Just be a presence here. Make sure your presence, and then make sure they're engaged onto you. Because if you engage on them here, as a like this is being apparent throughout the scrim, but if you engage here, you're at a disadvantage because you got no cover. If they engage here, then they're at a disadvantage. So where do you engage? Engage here. Make them come onto point. Make sure the sim turrets are zapping them. Make sure your Zen's throwing volleys at them. Make sure your Ryan's swinging into shield with a bubble, and make sure your Zarya's full charged while throwing full charge, damage orbs onto them, like a whatever right clicks. But instead, your Ryan charged, and then now he's in their team while your Zen got exposed. Actually no, that was then Zen 9. Anyway, but like your team is exposed here because your Ryan charged off. So yeah, just don't do that. Make sure you just stay here and wait for them to come on. And then now your Sim turrets are destroying them right now, but your Ryan's your Ryan's out of position anyway.
Hey, I'm on the main.
Like they wall you off, but like for fucking split second. And yeah, like they just played way too clear.
I need help with the Ryan.
Anyway, yeah, like this is a better example, like better angle to put it. Since you're sim telly around here somewhere there, just sit point, sit here, whatever, sit around this bell. Your Zen is in a good position. Just play around this bell as Zen or some shit. Make sure you have a diva like here watching flank, etc. And make sure your Ryan has a fucking presence here. That's very big. Just hold here. Wait for them to come in, and as soon as they're in this area, you can engage on them really easily. If you engage on this area, then it's hard. And plus, you already have point control. There's literally no point engaging on this area because it will give you no value. So yeah. Anyways, that was a good fight win. You guys a target caught as well, which is good. Even though it got a bit messy there, but you know.
Switch to a Bastion. We'll go Bastion straight, go top left, high ground, and melt them.
Who's going Bastion though?
Right now.
Wait, what?
Dim.
No, let's just stay
No,
where
just
we
stay,
are.
just stay,
Crush
just
it.
That was a terrible idea.
Just talk about what you're gonna do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, make sure you guys talk about what you're gonna do before the game starts.
Everyone here?
I will.
Because one person had the idea of Bastion, and then everyone else didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like with the Bastion.
Let's go.
We take point. I'll go.
Here,
That's why we
honestly-
didn't do it though.
Yeah, here honestly just switch out your Symmetra for like
Block that.
a diva, or like you know what I mean, like just go normal goats here, because wall doesn't give much value at all, especially in goats when they can speed boost past it. And then they recognize this because they switch off the main here. So just play normal goats here, honestly.
Zaya's off.
But you guys somehow managed to win this as well through ults, which is really good. And you guys just dominate.
Hold.
Stay. Keep your eyes out.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't have shadow there. I'm on the run. Run.
Lucia behind.
Yeah, I'm on the.
Yeah, these three tarts are really good. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, they're really good. 'cause
I stole
they-
it from Al. I had no idea. I stole. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
They shoot them. They slowed them before they push onto point here, and they slowed this side as soon as they push onto point here. If you were to put all three turrets there, they wouldn't be able to reach the left side, and vice versa, whatever. That was a really good turret placement. Even if you stole from out, that was a good practice. Like just taking plays and taking ideas off other people, which is really good, and applying it. And before you apply, understand how it's a good play, how it's a good idea to have these turrets here. Make sure you understand that, so you're not overusing this and only using it where the scenario actually fits, which you use it here, which the scenario fits, which is good. So yeah, every time you take a player off someone, just think about why they do it. You know, what is their effect in doing it? What are the negatives and positives? You know what I mean? So yeah, just think about that
Shadowing.
when you're taking players. Yeah, as I said again, that's fucking very good.
I'm on the Zaya. Nice. Whoa, did she actually die through chance?
Yeah, she did, motherfucker. 3 turrets.
Oh yeah.
So like you guys saw that. If you get a Discord on a target, but like if there's trans and you get a Discord on one of them and you guys all focus them, especially with the fucking damage of those things, like they'll die for trans.
Alright, yeah, we
So yeah, just make sure that you actually know this and that's in your toolkit. You know what I mean?
Heals, buddy.
Alright guys, I think I'm done for tonight.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep, you guys can get going.